Today we are going to be recapping and reacting to kind of a bunch of things that took the movie and show community by storm. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. We're going to start right off with my time to shine. Hello. Would you want to see Megan Fox return to the Transformers franchise? Now, I don't know how true this is, but I've heard talks about Michael Bay making another Transformers movie. If that's the case, guys, I would be so hyped to see that. I have been a big fan of all three of those movies, Dark of the Moon being my favorite one, and I would say I would like to see Shia LaBeouf return more than I would like to see Megan Fox, but if you were to able, somehow to get both of them to come back, I think that'd be really cool. So I would like to see it, but I would like to see, it's okay, maybe if it's just Shia, but if it's just Megan Fox by herself, I wouldn't like to continue that storyline without him, you know what I mean? Megan Fox from 2007, somebody said, before she started transitioning into a robot. Yeah, she looks very, very freaky now with the way that she's filled up her face and all of that. Until they figure out how to write stories where human characters matter, like Godzilla -1, it doesn't really matter if she returns or not. Okay, I mean, I don't know if I'm more on team. I would like to see something like Transformers 1. I like stories without the people, but the human characters in Transformers, for the most part, doesn't matter. I don't even want to see the whole thing about Shia LaBeouf going to college. All of that type of stuff is nonsense, but the fact that the Transformers fight scenes were so good, it kind of carried the movie. Let's circle over to Stranger Things. This is a quote tweet from Alex Hollings. Netflix, 9 years ago, the adventure began. Stranger Things 5, teaser tomorrow, and this was a little while ago, but it's a quote tweet saying, 34 episodes in 9 years is why this era of television sucks. I know. At the time of recording this video, I'm doing this, of course, right before, or not right before it comes out, but before the final season of Stranger Things comes out. It's so weird watching this show from the very beginning, and now everybody is just straight up an adult. I don't know how they're going to make it work. I don't know if they're going to have any effects to make them look younger, but it's just too weird. Too much time has gone on, and I don't understand what the holdup was. Honestly, if anybody knows in comments, it could comment down below. I would appreciate that. So basically, you're fine with them rushing through a TV show instead of them slowing down so they can give us something great. But that long? No way. There's no way it takes so long, because there have been so many quality shows that have come out throughout the years that hasn't taken it nearly as long as Stranger Things has taken. And Stranger Things is doing what? Am I remembering this correctly in saying it's 8 episodes? Regardless, another user had this to say, I remember when a TV show would have 24 episodes every season, and when the season ended, you only had to wait 3 months for the next season instead of 2 to 3 years. I'm okay with waiting, if you were to wait 2 to 3 years for another season of a show, at least you got 24 episodes out of it. Now we're getting 8 if we're lucky. Or, hey, here's 4 and that's part 1. Part 2 of season 2 is going to come out in 3 years from now. All of that I believe to be ridiculous. Let's continue on. They took way too long. The kids grew up. There was no end goal in mind. Venka is just Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers blended together. Whatever magic they had vanished after season 2. I've always been one to think that Stranger Things has been overrated. But I do agree. It's odd to me to watch these kids as adults playing these same characters. They're still playing the kids. Actual little kids. That's what it started out as. I don't know. Maybe they can go through a time jump or something. Venka opens up a portal. At least then it'll make a little bit of sense, you know? No kidding. A weekly episodic show on advertising-supported broadcast television used to be 23 to 24 48-minute episodes. Now we're lucky to get 6 to 8 episodes called a season. I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm interested in the reply too. Yeah, but those broadcast shows are usually stuffed to the gills of bland filler content and designed in commercial breaks. I'll take a well-made 8-episode series over 24 watered down. That said, last few seasons of Stranger Things kind of stopped being quite as well made. Yeah, the quality hasn't dipped nearly as much, and while fillers definitely still exist in some shows, it's not nearly enough for me to prefer the new way of doing things. No. Give me even if you wanted to do 12 to 16 episodes, that would be much better, but 6 to 8 is way too little. They're shooting film episodes that are 1 to 2 hours long, buddy. They're not over here shooting Good Luck Charlie. Good crap takes time. Go watch Love Island if you want shorter wait times. How come studios have been able to do it since the beginning of time? I don't know. There's been so many quality shows out there that aren't taking nearly as long. Let's circle over to The Boys, though. The Boys Out of Context posted this. Who in hashtag The Boys universe deserves a spinoff? I mean, I would like to see Homelander. Homelander is the most entertaining character in The Boys for me, but particularly, I would like to see a come up on Butcher story, or maybe Huey with his girlfriend. Maybe living in a world of soups. I think that'd be pretty cool too, but Honestly, any of the characters, like, they have such good material over The Boys. You can make one about any character, and I'm interested. Like, I love Gen V. A prequel of Joe Kessler and Butcher before things went to hell with Homelander and trigger Butcher's hatred for Soups. Actually, that's probably the best one now that I'm thinking about it. How did Butcher, or you can dive into the timeline, even just like maybe at some point during the show, and spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to talk about it now. Before Butcher and his wife ended up like having that encounter with Homelander that they had in the flashback when they were talking about why Butcher hated superheroes, I would like to see all of that resentment build up. I would like to see the storyline there. Actually, I think that is an excellent idea for the Boys spinoff. Of course, people loving Soldier Boy. We all love Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy's a great character. They're going to hate me, but the deep... You mean the peak? Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't even notice the reply there. I feel like there is not exactly a ton you can work with unless you want to dive into, like, how he became so, like, needy, if that makes sense. Somebody who's always looking for somebody like Homelander's approval, right? Okay. Let's circle over to discussing film. Margot Robbie will star in Tim Burton's remake of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. I don't even know what this is. And if you guys are new to the channel over here, we've had all of these things picked out for us to react to. Except for the thing at the end. I don't know what this is. Attack of the 50-Foot Woman? Is this an old movie? It's a remake, so it must be an old movie. What the heck? That's weird. Okay. Of course, people are going to go to it. You've had my curiosity now, but now you have my attention. Dude, I can only imagine what we're going to see about Margot Robbie, man. Excuse me. It should have been Cameron Brink. I don't even know who Cameron Brink is either. The problem is Kevin Hart's short. But this is a tall woman. I guess if you're looking for like a tall woman to play that, then yeah, maybe. They better keep in the breast expansion scene. What the hell? Hang on. It's a slight scene for the gag of it, but one of the growth scenes focuses more on the explicitity of the chest growing, so she shows more top heavy for a moment. It's just a nod to a niche community. I have no idea what this movie is, man. Oh my god, guys, what are we doing today? We got Megan Fox. We have the 50-Foot Woman, and now we have Quentin Tarantino with the user, it's what he would want. You know what I always think about with these types of things, guys? I can't believe that somebody, like, sat down, took a picture with all of these people around. But I guess, like, it's just normal nowadays for people to act crazy, man. And Quentin Tarantino, I don't know if he's a director or director/actor. He was the guy that's responsible for choreographing, like, is it Samala Hayek? I'm not familiar with actors' names, I'm sorry. But he's the guy that's responsible for having a scene where there's a foot in his mouth. And then he placed himself in that role. So I guess it's a funny thing, but let's continue. Oh, I didn't know this was coming. Yeah, see? Oh, okay, so he's a director. Visionary director Quentin Tarantino added this scene from Dusk Till Dawn totally because it led to valuable character development and added cinematic value to the film, not just because he wanted Salma Hayek's foot in his mouth. Guys, I'm sorry. I'll never understand these types of dudes, man. You know what feet walk through, especially if she's walking around all set with her bare feet, preparing for a scene to be bare feet in, like all of the germs, all of the dirt that you pick up. I will never understand this type of thing, but I can't believe, like, it's unbelievable that somebody got away with doing that, you know? You scared me for a minute. I thought he died. Yeah, it did seem like it, like just saying, oh, it's what he would have wanted. Everybody's outing themselves, eh? This is the best homage a woman can give to the man. All right. Let's continue on over to, of course, Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney as pro boxer Christy Martin in new biopic. The film will premiere at TIFF in September. Actually, that doesn't even look like Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, wait. Okay, I had to double check like it was Sydney Sweeney. Like I was like, because not even the face kind of lines up. Probably got a wig on. I'm not that familiar with like her entire build. I was afraid that this was going to be like the boxer and not Sydney Sweeney, but you get my point. I didn't even know she was doing a boxing movie. We're learning all kinds of things today. This movie's going to show who's a fan of her acting, who's just a fan of her candidates. Hang on. Is she playing a guy boxer? Hang on. As Christy Martin, so probably not. Great, yeah, Christy Martin's definitely a girl, right? I don't know if she's playing a guy or a girl. She's got to be playing a girl. That's a girl outfit. She's wearing pink, too. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with boxing, let alone women's boxing. Wait, this is such good casting. Oh. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this boxer, actually. I'm not even lying. That is good casting. I think they kind of look the part. And if not, like, they did a good job making her look the part. Very good, man. Interesting to see the kinds of roles she's choosing. She probably wants to break type. And then goes on to do the jeans commercial, eh? She can act, by the way, guys. Low-key hyped for this. I don't think I've seen her in a ton of stuff. I've seen her in Anyone But You, which actually, she did have a good performance there, but I don't think I've seen any of her other movies, to be honest. I could be wrong. I could just not be remembering anything. I know I haven't watched Euphoria. I know that's what she got big for. Huh. It might have just been that one movie that I've seen her in. I'm not even familiar with really what she does. Everybody only talks about her tits. Now, this is versatility. If she nails this role, she'll now be known for her acting and not massive cannons. No, she'll always be known for it. She's like way too far gone with that. What an absolute professional. That's some range. Actually, yeah, like she does look the part. She does look good. If you showed me this, I wouldn't even go, hey, that's Sydney Sweeney. I'm being serious with you right now. Huh. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hopefully she does a good job, man. Hopefully she does a good job. Let's continue back on. David Fincher wants Squid Game USA spinoff to have a different title. Something based on a classic American game. Got any ideas? Oh, I don't know. I don't really feel that. Squid Game's too iconic at this point. Why would you want to change that? Squid Game is so iconic. Yeah, let's just branch off and change the name completely. Something that takes over the world every single time that there's a season. The entire internet comes together and enjoys watching something. Yeah, let's change the name. That's a good idea. Come on. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Excuse me if you can hear my notification, guys. Let's continue on. Nathan Connolly had this to say. That's too easy. Trouble, sorry, Duck Duck Goose, Red Rover, lots of workable options. I'm only familiar with Duck Duck Goose, and I mean, unless you're talking about the board games Trouble and Sorry. It's funny how, like, you have all of these children games, and it's different based on the country. Like, dude, I would kill to see some Foursquare and Squid Game. I'm from Canada, if anybody hasn't been following me on my other channels. Yeah, we have great games like Grounder. That would be a sick one. Just poof, shooting anybody that's on the ground. There will be no cheating in Grounder. Simon says, yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. But I don't know about the title. You have to keep it Squid Game, man. The Hunger Games, somebody said. Dude, I'm surprised at this point that the Hunger Games isn't an actual thing that we do. Truth or Dare. Imagine every game involves some sort of truth or dare. Gather, hiding, and giving false information versus doing challenges. Doesn't need to be normal classic truth or dare, but can be some other game mixed in with it. Psychological game and psychological challenge game, or physical challenge game, excuse me. Actually, that's a pretty unique idea. And I was thinking initially when I heard truth or dare, I was thinking just hook them up to a lie detector test. But then again, like, you'd be forced to tell the truth, right? Let's continue on over to the next topic. Studios can try again, but nobody is replicating this moment because it's too organic with actual hype, and Popbase posted 2 years Barbenheimer happened. Yeah, that kind of did take over the world, eh? I can't really think about any... I can't really think about any two groups of movies that have kind of come out at the same time. I know 2026 has an incredible lineup. I'm sure there will be something, and I'm sure there's been something that's been in the past, but this is certainly... Yeah, everybody was going to the movies and talking about the movies at that time, man. It was simply two good movies coming out at the same time with very opposite tones, which makes for good memes. Same thing happened with Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing. That's so true. Yeah, it'll happen again before you know it. Yeah, so it will happen again down the road. Dude, I forgot about that. Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing coming out at the same time. Do you remember all of the all of the memes that came from that? Isabelle along with Doom Guy. That was hilarious. That was a great time, man. So it's always fun when the internet kind of comes together. Max had this to say about it. I wonder how Nolan feels knowing that a Barbie was a significant box office booster for his epic Nuclear Man movie. All right. I mean, it would kind of make sense, to be honest with you. Barbie's probably... I would imagine a Barbie movie would have done well. It was just another organically made meme similar to Animal Crossing. Oh, could point back to it again. Doom Eternal. It was fun because of the coincidence, not because of the intent. No one can just force it to happen again, especially soulless entities like the suits at the studios. Yeah, that's true. But again, there'll be a coincidence. People are going to enjoy it. People are going to love it. And then we're going to come together. We're going to make memes. Guys, I feel like I'm just like reacting to thirst traps today. Peter chose MJ over this. This isn't even... How many views does this have, man? How many views does this have? Oh, yeah, there you go. That's why we're talking about it. 55.3 million views. Yeah, that's crazy, too. Just like, I mean, crazy in the sense, like, even ignoring this picture, just the person that MJ was, like, it's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Tobey Maguire had the worst one. The chemistry was actually good. We're going to... Oh, it's just a GIF, okay. Yeah, actually, they were pretty good together, but the problem is, this movie is always ruined for me by the memes from Peter in these scenes. I will never not laugh at a good Bully Maguire meme. Like, I don't look at this, see chemistry, I don't look at potential, I don't look at anything like that. I see like, yeah, Bully Maguire getting his girl, showing her what's up. Literally everyone and Zendaya and Hollywood producers, yeah. Yeah, dude. I don't personally get the Zendaya hype. I'm not saying that I hate Zendaya or anything like that. I do not understand why people are so obsessed with her. We're continuing on. Is Hawk Girl actually this hot in the comics? I have a problem saying Hawk Girl because it sounds like I'm saying Hot Girl, and then when I say Hawk Girl, I think of Hawk Tua. It's horrible. I have a problem when I say Hawk Girl. But, I mean, it's just another post. 9 million views for this one. I guess everybody's freaking out over Superman, eh? No, sir, no. This is what a perfect casting looks like. Okay. That's kind of funny. Get in line, little bro. Yeah, I'm not familiar with anything in the comics, to be honest with you. Why is she making that face? Yeah, that's definitely the girl, eh? Hotter. I'm not, yeah, again, I don't know what to say about this, man. It's just a comic panel. Actually, the artwork design's pretty good. I'm not familiar with anything from DC, really. I haven't been introduced to any of these characters since I watched that initial Superman movie. David MB responded, said, in the comics, Shira Hole is an 11 on the hot and crazy Matrix. The mace is not a fashion accessory. Dropping dudes from great height is actually pretty mild for her, and she's a redhead. Wow. All right, and I of course, this is all blurred out that we can't see. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, hopefully we can see her kill some people in some even more ruthless ways in the next DC movies. Let's continue on. Oh, James Gunn again. James Gunn says he came up with the lore for the Infinity Stones in 3 minutes. Okay, something that's probably... you know what? I can see people being pissed off about that. It was literally me sitting down for 3 minutes and writing that, and that's when it became the rest of the Infinity Stones. I didn't know that James Gunn was responsible for the lore of the Infinity Stones. Does this mean it was different from the comics? Did they come up with that? Huh. I would imagine that's what it means at least, but I'm sure there's going to be some responses with very, very nice comic fans. He didn't have that much to think about. They already existed in the lore and comics, and the films didn't deviate much from what they do. Okay, never mind then. I guess that answered my question completely. 3 minutes that made Marvel $5 billion. I need that efficiency. Yeah, let's go, James Gunn. Let's go. Look at him go. For context, he's saying... Oh, hang on. This is a video. Hang on. Let's see. For context, he's saying that there was no solid idea of how they were going to use the stones in the MCU. Not that he came up with the lore of the Infinity Stones in the sense of the comics. Okay, let's see.
I never understood what any of the faces were in Marvel. I don't know what any of it means. Like, I have no clue what it means. I have no clue what any of that stuff ever meant. I knew there were Infinity Stones when they said, you know... We've been thinking, and we think that maybe some of these things have been Infinity Stones in different...
Okay, we're going to have to pause to give commentary throughout because we're not going to get copyright over there. I will comment on that audio quality, which was not my fault.
...different ways, and so could you write up what the Infinity Stones mean? When I wrote the scene with the Collector, explaining that, you know, there was this explosion, and then the Infinity Stones were born, and what they mean and where they came from, that was literally me just sitting down for 3 minutes and writing that.
What? Hang on, what did they say for context? He said there was no solid idea of how they were going to use the stones in the MCU. Okay, I understand.
And that's then what became the rest of the Infinity Stones. There was never anybody that said anything other than, I think the red thing and the blue thing are going to end up being Infinity Stones. That wasn't in the plan.
Okay, so he was just he was just confused a little bit. But hey, you know what? He did a good job. He did a good job with the lore. He did a good job with Guardians. He did a good job with all of his movies he's been making. And now he's turning me into a DC fan over here. Makes sense with how poor the lore was. All right. I thought they did a good job, man. James Gunn read Jim Starlin's graphic novels and comics. Thanos Quest #1 and Infinity Gauntlet from 1990-1991 renamed the set of Infinity Gems and revealed their origins as remnants of the lonely omnipotent being that committed suicide. Thanos' quest to collect them from cosmic elders, solidifying their lore as embodiments of space, time, reality, power, mind, and soul. Oh, so this is where it all ended up. Oh, I've seen this before. I've seen this cover before. Dude, it's pretty cool. I always appreciate the comic styles. Huh. That's pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll get into reading comics, but I guess that's where it all came from, eh? Let's continue on to MCU film news. Vanessa Kirby says, I saw this, says she wants to Sue Storm to become Malice in the MCU. I'm dying to do Malice. I still haven't watched Fantastic Four. I was supposed to watch it a couple weeks ago, and then plans got canceled, so I still haven't watched it. I don't know how she would do, but I'm sure a lot of fans would like to see Malice. This comment. Pedro's... Here we go. Of course, there's always one. This is not funny. Oh, what? Nobody's. I mean, that's not funny at all, Luna. Come on. You just know that it would happen, eh? I'm crying. Oh, yeah. From them playing the game. Were they actually looking at Malice? I didn't watch this, but I saw a couple clips pop up in the day. We're just getting into Pedro Pascal stuff, eh? Hollywood actresses Pedro Pascal. He's feeling anxious. I love this meme. This meme was all over the place when people were actually seeing Pedro Pascal. I asked Grok to do some mock-ups for science. Well, that actually looks pretty good. That's not the costume from Marvel Rivals. I don't even know what Malice is supposed to look like, to be honest with you. I only know from Marvel Rivals. That kind of took over the internet right away, dude. Let's continue on with the MCU. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Michael Mando will return as Scorpion in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Scorpion. I don't remember seeing Scorpion in a Spider-Man movie unless it was one of the old ones. It's been a long time since I watched that. Dude, I know this is my own little hiccup. I know. I am not going to be able to unsee him as Nacho. He played the role too good. I'm going to have a big problem with that one. Nacho is back. Exactly. He did such a good job in Better Call Saul, I'm not going to be able to unsee it. But what the hell's going on? This movie's going to be peak. So that's Scorpion. Why don't I remember this? Huh. Yeah, I don't remember that for some reason. Oh, well. Call him and let him know how you feel. Okay. Saul Goodman said that. Yeah. I like it. I like it, man. Hey, Nacho, I'm glad you're here. Dude, the guy's a phenomenal actor. I just will have problems unseeing him as Nacho, right? Let's continue on to something that I personally have seen. Gina Carano and Disney have settled their legal dispute. We look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Miss Carano in the near future. The Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement with Gina Carano to resolve the issues in her pending lawsuit against the companies. Miss Carano was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff, and she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Miss Carano in the near future. Dude, I saw this, and I was like, man, how dirty must have been in some of those like emails or whatever they looked into for her to get Disney to say something like this. We look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Miss Carano in the near future and beyond. Yeah, they must have found something bad. And I'm curious about it too. If I'm not mistaken, I think Musk funded everything that Gina Carano needed, which means like she could have fought endlessly. She got the best lawyers. I was a little bit surprised to see this, man. I was a little bit surprised, but I'm interested in what they found, because to get them to back down like that, that's crazy. Nolan Smith, she's mediocre at best. What's the hype here? Wow. Yeah, this is where I'm surprised about. She took on a global corporation and won. It's shocking. It's shocking. What the hell could they have found? That's what I'm thinking about it, right? That's how I'm thinking about it. Miss Carano was always well respected, and just the quote, right? Guarantee that part of the settlement statement was part of the settlement. Yeah. Yeah, probably, honestly. Her attorney must have found some. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Her attorney must have found some very juicy emails during discovery. I don't know how, like, there must have been something for them to get to them to say that. You know what I mean? Now, let's circle over to something that I personally chose for this video. Of course, I wanted to talk about the first poster for Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan's next TV series, described as a psychological sci-fi starring Rhea Seehorn, coming soon to Apple TV. Guys, I am a huge Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fan, and I've been waiting for this next project that's been rumored by Vince Gilligan for a long time. I will follow whatever he does, because he created two of the greatest shows of all time with some of the most peak writing, in my opinion. Plus, you have the actress of Kim. She's so good at what she does. If you want to talk a little bit more about that, then we open about it in this video right here, where we take into the entire internet's reaction towards it. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Take care, guys.